What's up, Taiwan? I'm Yvonne Yang with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. The United States is imposing new tariffs on drones. Taiwanese drones will face a 15% levy, creating a new challenge for an industry officials say is vital to national security. Our reporter Lily Lamartina has the latest.
Taiwan's drone industry is facing a new challenge. The Trump administration announced tariffs on drone imports aimed at reducing reliance on foreign suppliers, particularly China. Larger drones weighing over 25 kilograms or with technology sensitive to national security will face a 100% tariff. Smaller drones with less sensitive technology will face a 25% rate. For Taiwan, its drones and components will face a 15% tariff under the new policy. China has long dominated the drone market, but countries have raised security concerns about Chinese-made drones and components. This has led to an effort to build a so-called non-red supply chain, developing drone products without Chinese components or technology. Analysts in both Taiwan and Washington say these tariffs could reshape the commercial drone market, forcing U.S. customers to buy from U.S. suppliers or allied countries at a higher cost. Taiwan's economy ministry has not yet responded to a request for comment. But for Taiwanese drone manufacturers, they say the move could potentially help them tap into the U.S. non-red supply chain.
Short term, we were certainly facing a little bit cost challenges, but we will be much more competitive than other companies from China or from other sensitive countries. So all in all, long term, it's a great opportunity to us.
Taiwanese companies such as Thunder Tiger that are building factories in the U.S. could also face less impact, aligning with Trump's efforts to bring manufacturing back to U.S. soil. As governments in the United States and elsewhere turn to so-called non-red supply chains, Taiwan's drone market may still have an opportunity to expand as a trusted alternative to China. John Su and Lily Lamartina in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
U.S. President Donald Trump has made tariffs a key part of his trade policy in his second term. Last April, Trump introduced his Liberation Day tariffs, which placed a 32% tax on Taiwanese goods entering the U.S. While those tariffs have since been reduced, their introduction and implementation caused chaos for many businesses. In New York City, Leslie Liao spoke to two business owners who are heavily reliant on Taiwanese imports about how they were affected.
There's a store in New York City so important to Taiwan's cultural footprint in the U.S. that then President Tsai Ing-wen paid a visit there in 2023. Yunhai Shop sells all kinds of Taiwanese ingredients, books, snacks, and even kitchen appliances. Every inch of the store's small footprint has been thoughtfully planned out. And you might think you're in a general goods store in rural Taiwan while browsing its shelves. Founded in 2018, first as an online store, Yunhai opened a physical location in 2022. Founder Lisa Chang Smith, together with her partner Lillian Lin, had one goal: to elevate Taiwan's cultural visibility on New York's already highly diverse streets and around the United States.
We actually have a warehouse and purchasing agent in Taiwan, and we purchase from small farmers, artisans, also Dazhong, larger companies, consolidated all in a warehouse there, and then we import that to the United States.
Yunhai's business relies on imports, a model that's been heavily impacted by U.S. President Donald Trump's second-term trade policy. Trump has turned tariffs, or import taxes, into key leverage in his diplomatic toolkit. In April 2025, he announced sweeping Liberation Day tariffs, which slapped general duties on almost every country in the world. At the time, Taiwan was hit with a 32% tariff on its wares. That was a big blow for Yunhai.
The shock was the size and honestly how broadly and I'll say kind of dumbly applied it was. This was discussed as like a reciprocal tariff.
The tariffs would have ate into most of Yunhai's margins. But Chang Smith says one of the most frustrating aspects was the uncertainty in how the situation played out.
I mean, our first instinct was a little bit to wait and see as well, because that's the character of this administration, is that things wildly fluctuate. And then after that, it was clear that there was going to be some tariff. And to be honest, they were I can't remember, it was like paused. I don't know what the word was, hiatus or paused, and then like all of a sudden we had to do it, and then the numbers changed, and then we were in negotiations. There was quite a bit of roller coaster.
What followed for Yunhai was a gauntlet of hurdles. The company had to speak to vendors, adjust its orders, modify hiring plans. In the end, the business made it through with much help from the local community.
What ended up working the best is just telling our story, sharing it with our customers, because people showed up. We had a really big bump in business, which was incredible to see.
Yunhai had to get creative to overcome the tariffs. That included working with another Taiwanese-American business in New York, Tea Company, which sells artisanal teas from Taiwan. The last time TaiwanPlus spoke with the owner of Tea Company, Elena Liao, Donald Trump had only just taken office for his second term. Back then, tariffs were still just a campaign promise. But a year and a half later, Liao has now dealt with Trump's so-called Liberation Day tariffs, and we're here to learn about her experience dealing with them. The big logistical hurdle for Liao was trying to cut costs to accommodate the new tariff policy. Her business usually imported goods by air, but because of the tariffs, she shifted to ocean shipping with a little help from Yunhai.
They basically import all the goods from Taiwan to see if we can sort of help each other and we can offset some of their shipping costs by helping us bringing product in via ocean. And so that becomes kind of the continuous relationship that we have with them.
Taiwan and the U.S. have since reached an agreement on Trump's tariffs, capping the U.S. levies on Taipei at 15%. While Liao has weathered that storm, she says certainty is far from a sure thing these days. As a business owner heavily reliant on global trade winds, it's not just tariffs on her mind anymore.
We're not done. Because of the war now, there's a significant increase in fuel charges for bringing in shipments. So I just heard from the Yunhai team, I think it's going to be 50% more than what it used to be. So I don't know, is the effort worth it?
Yunhai and Tea Company are still running smoothly, continuing their work of helping spread Taiwanese soft power. While Trump's tariffs are seemingly now in the rearview mirror, their experiences with them are a testament to their resilience and their love for showcasing Taiwan's culture. Eason Sun and Leslie Liao in New York City for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's legislature has approved 3 referendum proposals initiated by the opposition. One proposal would ask voters whether to legalize flogging as a punishment for serious crimes, including sexual assault and child abuse. The other 2 would ask whether to get rid of the ruling Democratic Progressive Party's nuclear-free homeland policy and whether to use traffic fines to improve road safety. A separate proposal to allow euthanasia for people with chronic illness was rejected. If approved by election authorities, the 3 referendums are expected to be held alongside November's local elections. The Coast Guard says it repelled Chinese official ships from restricted waters on Thursday.
你们未经许可进入我国水域，已违反国际法规定，影响我国海域秩序及安全，请立即转向，尽速离开我国水域。
Coast Guard officials said 4 Chinese ships were asserting claims over waters around the Kinmen Islands, which are controlled by Taiwan. The vessels stayed in restricted waters for more than 2 hours before leaving. It's the second such incursion during Taiwan's annual Hanguang military exercise. Parts of Asia have seen a week of extreme weather, from wildfires in Indonesia to disastrous flooding in China and Japan. It's all driven at least in part by this year's El Niño, and it could be some time before it ends. John Van Trieste reports.
Palm oil farmer Roni surveys the destruction on his property in southern Borneo in Indonesia. There's not much he can say. Charred waste is all he has to show for 7 years of work building up his own plantation. The wildfire that destroyed many of his trees came suddenly as Roni was caring for his wife in the hospital.
Kita terima telepon dari Bapak.
My father called us at around 3:30, saying that the fire was getting close to the plantation. So we asked him to try watering down the surrounding fires. But the blaze got big very quickly, and my father couldn't hold it down anymore.
It was just before harvest time, too. There's no money to replant. Roni says that it's now just a matter of cutting his losses. He's just one of many facing ruin from wildfires that have overrun many parts of Indonesia as an El Niño brings dry, windy weather. The country gets wildfires, but this year is something extraordinary. From January to June, the country lost more than 100,000 hectares to fires, more than double the losses during the first half of 2023, when the last El Niño affected the country. And fire season isn't over. While Indonesia burns, parts of China are underwater. Same El Niño effect, different outcome. In the northern city of Xuchang, Zhu Guoxin tries to restore some order in a flooded yard. Typhoon Dolphin may have passed, but the storage yard where Zhu is caretaker is still a wreck. The office space filled with shin-deep, mucky water. The metal construction materials for sale are now left to rust, with a first estimate of $30,000 in losses from ruined steel pipes alone. Zhu tried to salvage the yard, but the weather won.
下了2天2夜一直在下，下了水往外抽着，只见涨，不见落，雨太大了。那你不想啊，下了雨都60多了，我这第一次见这大的雨，下的时间还长。
All the while, extreme downpours pummel eastern Japan. Emergency crews say 2 men were found dead in floodwaters in Chiba Prefecture near Tokyo. In just 24 hours, Chiba City got more than 3 times the amount of rain it normally gets during the whole of August. As officials urged more than 100,000 households to evacuate, the rain shut highways and rail services, leaving thousands of people stranded. Until Thursday, this area had never been under the Japanese Weather Service's highest alert level. It has now, rounding out a week of extreme weather spreading disaster across parts of Asia. Howard Zhang and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
A group of local scientists has discovered that giving probiotics to corals can slow down coral bleaching. Erin Ling has more.
Under Taiwan's southern sea, vibrant coral reefs stretch across the ocean floor. But with global warming causing water temperatures to rise, coral bleaching has become a crisis that many marine biologists are working hard to solve. And now, one team from Taiwan's top research institute has found a unique treatment, probiotics.
添加进去呢，在珊瑚里面就会让它这个珊瑚的对这个环境的压力可以做比较有效的适应。如果提升了高温的话，它也比较不容易白化。
The team added various types of probiotics to coral cell samples and found some that not only improve the coral's health, but also build up their defenses for hotter habitats. Although this technique is still in early trials, the team says it could be a big leap forward for coral reef restoration. Taiwan's Ocean Conservation Administration has been growing coral for years and says it will continue to monitor areas of bleaching.
各学术单位然后政府机关合作然后我们有一些在地守护的团体他如果进到海里，有时候如果看到珊瑚白化的部分，就跟我们讲，让我们来做一个更精确的白化的预警跟调查。
Marine biologists say coral reefs are crucial habitats for thousands of species, bringing together plenty of fishery resources and minerals. While parts of society try to combat global warming on land, these scientists are working to help marine ecosystems weather the changing environment. Fu Huahong and Irene Lin for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan has been chosen to host games for the 2027 WSBC Premier 12, a major international baseball tournament. It comes after Taiwan's national team won its first ever championship at the tournament in 2024. This time, the team is aiming for a ticket to the upcoming Olympics in Los Angeles, but will need to top the Premier 12 Asia roster first. If this doesn't happen, the team will still have a shot at a final Olympic qualifier, also held in Taiwan. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we'll leave you with more images of the total eclipse seen across Europe. I'm Yvonne. Take care, and I'll see you next time.